This is UC Focus TV, and today we're having an exclusive with the newly elected President of Law Society Uganda Christian University. Congratulations upon your victory.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, how do you feel about the new win that you have just gotten to yourself?
I feel so happy because first of all, actually, this wasn't about only winning the presidency of Uganda Christian University Law Society, but it was about creating a thriving, a dynamic and a supportive community to everyone, and that's what we intend to create. I feel happy and I feel that indeed this new cabinet is going to work and serve the people.
Yeah, actually, I've already seen you start doing your work. I've seen you trying to get people internship, trying to inform them about how they can get the internship. So basically, I hope to see the best from your office, and we're going to keep watch over your duty in office and your time in office, and we hope that the Law Society will not break down again.
Exactly, it won't.
Okay. So now, I want us to start from somewhere. I wanted us to know about your early life, yes? So tell us about when you were born, anything you remember from your childhood memories.
First of all, let me begin with my name is Munyigwa Asaph Elly. I'm a third-year student at Uganda Christian University, now the President-elect UCU Law Society. I was born on the 3rd day of March 2000. Right now, that means I'm 23 years of age at the moment. I was celebrating what I remember mostly in my early life. On 3rd day of March 2003, when I was celebrating my birthday, when I was making 3 years old, my parents were going to buy for me a birthday gift somewhere, but they met an accident and I lost them on that day, all of them at once. At that time, a gentleman aged 3 years of age became a total orphan. That means if you don't have a parent, if you don't have any parents, existing parents who can support you at that early age, you become an adult. So that means I became an adult at the age of 3. That's when I started thinking like a man. At that time, a gentleman aged 3 years of age didn't have any hope of going to school. At that time, a gentleman aged 3 years of age had to generate ideas of how to survive the following day. And it was a hassle because in 2003, my elder sister was 16 years of age. She had to look after a family of 5 other siblings that we had in the house. It was a hassle. So growing up was really a hassle. But however, what we didn't lose was hope. So as I was growing up, in 2004, I joined Chitezi Nursery School.
Let me cut you short from there. 2004, you talked about your 16-year-old sister. Was she the one who was fending for you? Was she the one paying your school fees?
When it comes to school fees, I took long to join school because most of our colleagues, most of the age mates, joined school when they were 3.5 years, but for me I had to join at 4. Why? We didn't have hope that actually time shall come and I get money to go to school. Now we had someone who was operating a certain nursery school. It was called Chitezi Nursery School. That person is called Madam Chuana. She's still existing. She's still alive at this time. So she came by at home and she told my sister, why don't we try to take this child Asaph to school? So she took me to her school and I was studying for free. However, she told my sister to work and get some money so that she can at least acquire for me some uniforms, shoes and other scholastics. And my sister did so and I was able to complete nursery.
Okay, so after nursery, you went to primary.
Yes.
Tell us the transition from nursery to primary.
The transition to nursery to primary, it was indeed a God-created transition because it came in a way that I didn't expect. In 2007, there are some people who came at our home. Those people are from an organization called Chain Uganda. Chain Uganda, in full, it is community health and information.
I've seen something on your bio of Chain Uganda.
Exactly. Yeah, they posted me congratulating me. And those people have indeed supported me since 2007. Yeah, so when I was going to P1, those people came by. They came at home and they saw the situation that we are going through. My sister by then, I think she was 19, but she had to hustle to get for me money, to get for me tuition, school fees for primary. So they told her, don't worry, we are going to start sponsoring herself from today until when she will finish studies. So they started from 2007, and I testify that even up to now, they are still sponsoring me. Now, when we are leaving When I finished P7, I was from P1 to P7. I was in a UPE school. There were some allegations. Even our teachers used to tell us that no one can come from a UPE school and we expect to go to university. Why? We are paying 30,000 by the school fees. But I tell you that even at times some parents could fail to raise the 30,000 a student. Now, do you expect a parent who has failed to pay 30,000 to raise the 3.22 million at UCU? Of course, it's a no. Now, every time the sponsors set a target that for us we can only continue with a person who has scored such and such aggregates. So, when I was in primary, when I reached P7, the organization had to set cut-off point. They had to set cut-off points, and by then it was 18 points. It was 18 aggregates, and in that UPE school, it was called Wampeo Primary School. It's still there even right now. I managed to get a super second grade. I got 15 points, and therefore I had
15 aggregates.
Yeah, 15 aggregates. 15 aggregates, and I had to go to secondary.
So before you go to secondary, what was the hardest moment for you in primary school? And what was the best moment for you in primary school?
The hardest moment for me in primary school was one, there was hardship in receiving scholastics, because yes, Chain Uganda was supporting me, but you cannot tell them to give you everything you need in life again. So getting scholastics was kind of hard, but indeed God provided. And also missing the love of the mother. On visitation day, people's mothers and fathers could come by to visit them, but for you the only thing you could do is sitting aside and look at them. I couldn't stop wishing that how I wish they were here with me to see me growing up, to see me grow up at this time. But we had to push on. I had to have hope. I had to develop hope that actually there is some days ahead. So the most challenges I faced in primary education was scholastics purposely. In general, it was scholastics, because at that age I couldn't get a job to say that let me start working so that I can raise something. Yeah.
So actually, my producer had given me only 3 minutes for this interview. I'm sure I've gone above 3 minutes, and this is a very touching story. And 3 minutes are not enough to hear this entire story. So now let us first go into your high school life. You got 15 aggregates, and you succeeded to go to secondary. Yeah. What was it like? Which school did you join, and what was secondary like?
Secondary was such a nice experience, because when you are leaving primary, you have been putting on a catchy trouser, a catchy shirt. Yeah. So you are optimistic. You want to have that feeling of how does it feel to put on a trouser? How does it feel to put on a tie?
What's funny is we had that feeling of how will it feel like to put on a trouser? Yet at home we'd always put on trousers,
exactly.
But we're just so excited. So let's continue from there.
Exactly. So I joined a school in Kasangati. It's called Tender Talents Senior Secondary School. Now, as I was going, I started from there only, first term of secondary. Now, I got an opportunity to talk to my sponsor. When I talked to my sponsor, I had to ask which school I was attending to at that time. I told him the name of the school, so he requested for change of the school. Now that's when the organization took me to Buloba High School. It's one of the nice schools we have in Uganda. So when I went to Buloba, it was my first time to be in an environment which had many people, because we were indeed very many. And when you are in an environment where there are many people, you have to struggle for some things, like food. Food was there in abundance. Breakfast, they could give us breakfast and escorts. But a year one student, I was very thin. I couldn't hustle with some guys in senior 4. That's why I had to request the organization to change me to a school that had a smaller population. They listened to me, and actually I thank them, because they have been parents to me. Because a person who doesn't know you, to listen to you, to pay attention to all, to your desires, is difficult. They changed me, and they transferred me to Makerere High School in Gade, where I joined in the third term. I reached.
Which class was that?
It was senior 1 third term. I joined them in that.
So senior 1, you went to 3 schools.
Exactly. Senior 1, I attended senior 1 in 3 schools. But I thank God that it wasn't due to suspension, but I was looking for the best for my life. Yeah. So I went to Makela High School, Mikata, and at least I found a population that was kind of favorable. You know, people just increased after a few years, but the people I found, the population I found, was favorable, and the standards of living, there was no so much hassle for some things that are required for survival at campus.
Okay, so you were in Makere High School from senior 1 up to senior 4.
Exactly.
So after senior 4, what happened? What next?
From at Makere High School, senior 1, senior 4, senior 4, you know, again the organization had to set the cut-off aggregates. They were like, if someone gets more than or beyond the first grade, if someone gets like second grade and third grade, we shall not continue with that person. Yeah. You know, when I reached high school, I knew that I was an orphan. And I was like, how am I going to exercise like my potential so that, you know, I create something that's called limitless possibilities on my side. In senior 3, I decided to take up campaigns, like to campaign for a certain post. It was deputy sanitary prefect. And indeed, people trusted me with their mandate, and I served from senior 3 to senior 4 as the deputy sanitary prefect. That's where my leadership character developed from, because I was like, if I can lead in a 5-star institution like High School, when I'm an orphan, a person who doesn't have anything, because even in campaigns, I didn't buy anything for students. I just talked to them, and they bought ideas, and they put me into office. So that's where my leadership character developed from Makela High School, they used to meet us very well. Now, in senior 4, when they set cut-off points, I thought
it was the first grade.
Yeah, it was the first grade. I thank God that I got the first grade, senior 4. God was there. I got 31 aggregates, which was actually the cut-off. Yeah, and when I went to the organization, really, they were happy for results, and I had to join A-level.
Okay, so when you joined A-level, where did you go to A-level?
When I joined A-level, my dream was to join Rubili High School. But when I went to Rubili High School, I went there to seek for admissions. And I found that their lifestyle was kind of different from the rest of high school life, because I found when some people are even sleeping in hostels, you know, some things that don't happen in high school. In high school, we know one thing. Dormitories, you know. Yeah. So when I went for admissions, first of all, I got afraid. I got afraid, and I said, no, let me go back to the environment I know better. So I decided to go back to Makela High School, because I was like, what if I go to a school that wants tuition or school fees on the first of reporting, and at Makela High School, they knew that I was a sponsored student. So even though I didn't pay, they could give me exams. Even in those situations, I paid to pay. They could give me exams, and they wait for organization to pay them. So I saw that was a relationship that needed to be kept. So I decided to go back to Makela High School in 11. Now when I went back to Makela High School in 11, I had a dream of contesting for HP. Makela High School for HP. I had a dream of contesting for HP. Yeah, I tried. I wrote an application, handed it in, and indeed I contested for head prefect. However, when I went for vetting, there are some things that didn't go well, and my name was stopped, was removed from the list.
So were you a very chilled sanitary prefect in all level?
Not that, but when the name, because when they removed my name from HP, they put me on the second position. That was head boy, and I was made an appointee. Maybe they knew that there was no, among the people who had applied for head boy, there was no potential candidate for that post. Because actually, to lead all boys in school, you need to be such a charismatic leader. Yeah. So they placed me in that position, and I had to serve. And I served well. And actually, at the end of my tenure, they used to bring people from Cornerstone, Uganda, to come and teach us about leadership. Actually, at Makela High School, I attended a 2 years leadership course from Cornerstone, Uganda, under their umbrella program. High school leadership development, which is in short, they used to term it HLD. Now, at the end of my tenure at Makela High School, I was nominated to represent the school in National Student Leadership Award. Now, those awards are awarded by HOD, in brackets Cornerstone, to the most outstanding leader in their program, and I was nominated to take part in those awards. And actually, surprisingly, something I've never thought that it will happen or to come to pass, I won that award as the Student Leader of the Year in Uganda 2019. So that's when I knew that actually there is something they call limitless possibilities, that even though you are an orphan and you express your efforts very well, the world will not know that you are an orphan. You know, there is nowhere you will go and your efforts are limited, or your possibilities. Yeah. And when it came to senior six, again the organization had to set the cut-off points.
To join university.
Yeah. They were like, if you score below 10, you will not join, and then you shall not continue your grade. Thank God I did take that is history, English and geography, and I scored 15 points. That means the organization had no other option than taking me to a university. Now, when it came to university, they asked me, which university do you want? Remember, I wanted UCU, but I told them, I want UCU, but UCU is kind of very expensive. Shall we afford UCU? Now, they told me, Asaph, I've been supporting you. I was paying 1 million at Makerere School as school fees for the whole semester, for the whole term. At Global, I was paying something close to 780 per term, and they were paying it without any complaint. So they told me when I was joining university that, Asaph, don't worry, you can apply, do the pre-entries. They sent me money for application. I came here and applied. Passed the pre-entries, and I said it. Tell you that I don't have any debt in accounts. Chain Uganda, I've been paying ever since I joined here.
Okay, so there's one thing that I wanted to get very clearly before we wind up this interview. So right now, you've talked about your school fees struggle, Chain Uganda coming in to support you at the age of the class of P1. So now, basically, who has been supporting you with the scholastic materials, upkeep, pocket money? Where is the money coming from?
Yeah, when my parents died, I stayed with my sister up to 2007. Yeah. Now I had to go to my uncle. He's a reverend. Right now he's retired. He was working at St. Paul Church, Kanyanya. So even right now I'm still living with him. And I thank him so much because he has been taking me and treating me as his own son indeed. So he has been providing. Scholastics, upkeep, Even when it came for the time to campaign, here at UCU, we provided most of the things he wanted. Yeah, he has been so supportive, and at least he knows the journey I've moved, he knows where I've come from, that the journey has been so tough, and indeed, he has been there, he has stood for me, even up to now. Even though I call him when I need anything, he provides.
Okay, so what do you have for us in the future? What future aspirations do you have lying ahead of you?
Yeah, the future aspirations I have lying ahead of me. Next dream I have, I don't know whether it may be fulfilled in 2026, but I'd like to represent Chadongo East in Parliament. Yeah, Mr. Munyigwa may be watching this clip, but he has been my role model, the way he came in to take the position, we supported him. I'm among the people who voted for Munyigwa. I can proudly say that. So I'll feel happy if he hands over to me to take Chadongo East a step first.
Do you think he's ready to hand over to you?
He's a lawyer, he understands the rule of law, so I think he's ready. And he believes in democracy, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone that has been viewing this interview from a very from a very hard upbringing, from losing the parents at a very tender age of 3 years old to becoming the next President-elect Uganda Christian Law Society 2023-2024 is something that is very, very big. And of course, this story is very inspirational. It's a story that very many people feel very passionate with. It's a story that many people can easily coordinate with, easily relate with. This has been the story of the new president, Asaph. My name is Bildan Arnold.